Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Bell Ringers podcast. And with Colin Daly, Ben Goldstein. Ben, this has not been a good start, has it?
Oh, not at all. We can't hit the ball, and all right, we gotta hit the ball.
Yeah, this isn't really the what I was expecting for our first regular season podcast to be. But no, it's not at all promising for where we are standing right now. Last place in the East, which I'm not going to really stress about the whole last place in the East thing. That means nothing right now. I mean, the standings mean nothing until really like July and early August. So that's not even a concern in my book. But there has definitely been some other concerning things to point out. The MVP, Bryce Harper, struggled immensely to start the season. Kyle Schwarber has been nothing short of atrocious. The pitching rotation, it seems like every pitcher on the Phillies has had a very good start and a very bad start, other than maybe Wheeler and Eflin. But Gibson, which I'm going to get into, we may as well get into our first segment is breaking down each Philly so far. Can we start with Kyle Gibson? Because I think that people are going, I'm trying to think how I'm going to word this, but they're overreacting to his start against the Marlins. He had really good break on his pitches. I thought that he pitched well. I thought the Marlins had some very, very good swings and some lucky hits down the line. I mean, come on. There was a home run that hit the foul pole. Doesn't get much more lucky than that, right? I mean, that's an earned run tacked off of him that day, if that is an inch to the left. I thought they put some balls down the line that were on, right on the edge of the plate. His cutter had its normal movement. I just think that was an unlucky day, which is going to happen to every pitcher in the league at some point this season.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, it happens to everybody. I was at Gibson's first start, and that was the best I've ever seen Kyle Gibson. Mm-hmm. And then it's unlikely as soon as you have a great start, you have an unlucky one. Usually that doesn't happen, but it happened to Gibson. It's going to happen. Hopefully this is the only time it happens to Kyle Gibson. And, it feels like these always happen against the Marlins. So.
Yeah, and it's funny. A lot of people were saying it was unlucky for Zach Wheeler, and we'll jump right into Wheeler now. I don't think that was there was something wrong there. There was something.
Yeah,
his fastball dipped down to 93. Yeah. And then I think he had a 94 mile per hour pitch at the it was so slow they called it a changeup.
Yeah.
Which is not right for Wheels.
He doesn't throw 93 mile per hour changeups.
No, even on his
fastball.
Yeah, that was his fastball. And there were some pitches that were 95, 96. But the inconsistency there is what worries me. If he was consistently hitting 94, 95, that's fine, right? Did he even have a start in spring training that was with the big? I know he started in the minors, but I don't think he started.
No, he
big league spring training. It got rained out, right?
He did no. He was scratched like 15 minutes before the game.
Right, because they thought it was going to rain and they wanted him to get his entire start in. So didn't they have him go down the mine? I think I'm almost positive that's what happened because I was down there. I was in Clearwater. I'm pretty sure
that is what happened. They sent him to a minor league simulated game.
Right.
But I'm not over. It's obviously concerning. But
yeah,
it's still spring training for him.
Right.
Zero
I'm just hoping there's no injury.
Zero spring training starts. He hasn't faced a major league hitter yet, except obviously against the Mets and the Marlins. But we can't. I'll give him another start, and I'll start to worry.
Yeah, I think.
But if his next start doesn't worry, they have to consider AAA for him to just get those reps in. And then when he finally starts to look normal, to bring him back up. I don't know if it's just the most efficient way to do it, but at some point they might have to think about it.
See, I don't think you can just send that guy down to AAA. He has a ridiculous contract, right? He and he's the ace of their rotation. What better are you going to get from AAA? I mean, is it going to matter whether or not he's facing major league hitters or minor league hitters? He's still pitching the same way, right?
Well, what I'm thinking is he'd get more reps in, like maybe instead of every 5 days he pitches, maybe every 3 days they send him out there for a few innings and then he. Oh, that's gonna
Yeah, I mean that's possible. I don't think that in the middle of the season the Phillies are going to want to throw him with a different schedule. I think they're going to want to keep him on that 5-day schedule until the All-Star break.
Mhm.
But it's hard to tell at this point. There could be a lot of things that happen. There could be a lot of things that don't happen. You have no idea. But I mean, Nola's been the same way. Nola's been atrocious. His first start, I actually thought he did very well. I thought he looked very good in his first start.
He did.
His
He did
curveball
on
was disgusting.
On opening day, he was very good. Joe Girardi just did his normal thing and kept him in too long. But I was really pleased with Nola in his first start.
Yeah, I thought he had really good stuff. The curveball looked more. His curveball is always good when it's going. It's breaking to the left and not breaking down. When he starts throwing that 12-6 curveball like Adam Wainwright, that doesn't work for him because he doesn't have enough downward motion on it. But when he has almost more of a slurve type of curveball, it works much better for him. And that's what we saw from him on opening day. We did not see that his second start out, the final game in the Mets series. And I was at that game. And he didn't, you could tell he was on the mound. He was frustrated. He was fidgeting. He kept trying to get a grip of the baseball. And he just seemed, you could tell that he wasn't in his Aaron Nola form that we saw in 2018. And I think that there's a point where you do need to get a little bit concerned about Nola. I mean, he's pitched like this in 2020, in 2021, and 2022 is really not off to a good start. And I think that the only reason he's not at that elite level is I think that they ruined Aaron Nola throwing the knuckle curveball. He doesn't need a knuckle curveball. He has that curveball that works for him. I don't know why they changed it because he struggled for like a month in 2019 or 20. I don't understand that. But nonetheless,
is Realmuto partially blamed here because when he came in, Aaron Nola wasn't the same?
I'm going to say no. And my reasoning for that is, well, it depends what you're looking at. I think that in terms of pitch calling, it could be better, but pitch calling can always be better, right? I mean, a guy hits a home run. Clearly, you messed up. There's a better pitch to throw there because, in the MLB, and they're throwing 95 miles per hour, there's an aspect of it that is, what you're expecting. If he's expecting a fastball down the middle and it's a curveball, you're probably not going to be able to react to that and change. So there's at some point where if they're right on a fastball, that's probably what they're assuming. Therefore, you threw the wrong pitch in that situation, of course. But I think that Realmuto is an elite catcher. His pitch calling's gotten better. But I think that Nola hasn't executed his 0-2 pitches well. Or not 0-2, two-strike pitches. And we've seen so many two-strike home runs off of Nola. And that's more of a repetition thing. Obviously, we've had 2020, which was a really weird season. 2021 was semi-normal. But 2022, again, another really, really weird season. And I'm hoping that he can find the groove. He can adjust. Because if he can't, he needs to put batters away. He needs to be able to finish them with, whether it's, something that's high in the zone that'll get a pop-up to an infielder, or something low in the zone where they're going to get under it. They go fishing for it. Or if it's a strikeout pitch, maybe a high fastball up and in, or that curveball low and away, he has to find something he can use. And I think I hope everyone's recognized that by now, especially the coaches in the Phillies organization, because if not, that's a problem. Which we do have some speculation on whether or not the Phillies need to make some changes in their front office and their coaching staff. So we'll get to that a little bit later. Yes. Who should we go to next? Should we switch to the offensive guys?
Let's do that.
All right. Should we start from the top of the order and go down? Maybe
Yeah,
start with Schwarby.
we'll go through the opening day lineup and then we'll look at the bench.
All right. So Schwarby, what are your thoughts on him, Ben?
I love Kyle Schwarber. I always have. He was one of my guys when he wasn't here. And to see him play in Philadelphia so far has not been the most appealing thing to my eyes. What was he? 3 for 33 at one point?
Something like that.
I mean, his stats, when you look at the home runs and that kind of stuff, 2 home runs is okay right now for Schwarber. I mean, he always doesn't, from what I've seen, he usually doesn't get off to a great start. And he usually kicks up.
Not to this extent though.
It's usually not this bad. But he usually gets better as the summer comes along and the ball starts to travel more. Because we know that Kyle Schwarber can hit a baseball very, very far.
Right. I mean, he's hitting 139 right now, which is very, very bad.
Yeah, in Major League Baseball, if you're not a pitcher, you don't want to hit 139.
Right, and we're through 9 games, and he's already been moved down in the order we're already through 10 games, and he's already been moved down the order.
Yeah, and that scares me. Because when Odubel Herrera comes back, which when he comes back, he will probably be the starting center fielder. If they keep Schwarber down there, Odubel Herrera will be your leadoff hitter.
Right, he's going from 9 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
Herrera, I think from what he expected coming into spring training, it's a pretty big jump. So,
that's not good.
No. Let's go to JT Realmuto now, since he was our starting day catcher. Yes. Realmuto has I think I like where he is right now. I mean, the only thing that I'm a little concerned about is what his numbers would be without that 4-for-4 game. So, is he going to be consistent? Which I think in the past he's been consistent, just not consistently where we want him to be offensively. I think we want him to be a little bit more of an average hitter, a doubles hitter, almost like a lower tier version of Nick Castellanos. I think is where we wanted Realmuto to be, not hitting 260, 250, 260. But I'm not concerned about JT. He's off to a good start this season.
The person I'm most least concerned about right now is JT Realmuto, because I know for a fact he'll be okay because
he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, right? He's the best catcher in baseball.
Mm-hmm. That's another topic for another day.
Yeah, I just like saying it.
It is a fun slogan, BCIB.
Yeah, I just like saying. I just like saying that my guy's the best catcher in baseball.
That's true. Bryce,
and it's not Salvador Perez. Before we get into anything,
really,
dude can't play defense.
That's true. I will give you that. And it's in catcher is the word catch. And if he can't play defense, throw runners out, block balls in the dirt, he should find a different position. Bryce Harper.
Ooh, Bryce Harper. He's Bryce Harper.
That's
not a great start. He did not get off to a great start. But in this Marlins series, I'm very happy with what I saw from him. He started to hit the ball again.
That's true.
I feel like after his home run against the Mets, he just kind of finally hit a home run. Let's get back to what I know how to do. And he's been.
I think some of that's realizing that he didn't have. I think he was really. He thought that he had to do all these things to continue playing the way he played in 2021, and I think he just needed to realize that he didn't have to do anything different, do anything special. I think that home run made him realize,
just be yourself.
I just had to swing the bat, get a good swing, the swings that I've been doing since I was called up as a rookie, and keep doing that. I think that's the most important thing for Harper. And I think he's going to be fine. Actually, his numbers right now aren't bad. I mean, the average is bad. It's a 219, 216, 819 OPS. I mean, sure, that's nowhere near where he was last year, but 819 OPS is well above the league average. So that doesn't worry me. So eventually, those what I see right now from him is a lot of Reese Hoskins. It's very I'm going to have home runs and doubles, but the difference between Hoskins and Harper is Harper mixes in singles and he mixes in those some extra doubles, and that's going to come for him eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Castellanos, I think it's hard not to be pleased with Nick Castellanos. Am I right?
No, Nick Castellanos is very good at baseball.
Yeah. And I think that Castellanos is still an underrated player. I know that he was in the MVP running last year. But so far he has a 1,000 OPS with a 324 average. You can't beat that. I think that people are sleeping on Castellanos. I think the Phillies got him for a ridiculous deal.
Yeah.
I mean, that was probably the biggest bargain since maybe Harper. And the only reason I'm saying that is because back when he was signed his contract, he wasn't, the prices for players and free agency were so much less expensive, right? So really Castellanos is a bargain, and whatever we get out of him, we're getting a good deal there. And if he keeps this up, he's going to be an elite player. And I think he's in the MVP running once again this year.
Ooh. I think Castellanos ends up this year being our best hitter. I don't know if it's going to be the MVP running, but I feel like if they had to make a MVH for a team as valuable hitter, it'd be I have my money on Nick Castellanos.
As do I. All right, let's go to Reese. What are you thinking about Reese? So 258 average, 879 OPS. That's where we're sitting right now.
He can't really catch a baseball, which is obviously not great for the first base position. But he's all right. He's Hoskins. I mean,
all right. I'm gonna middle the pod. I'm gonna throw out a theory.
Oh,
I've been thinking about this for a few days. I'm telling you that by the middle of May, Phillies are gonna have Schwarber in left, Harper in center, Castellanos in right.
I like that.
Hoskins DH, Bohm at first base.
I'd rather Bohm DH and Hoskins be at first.
They're going to rotate in and out.
Yeah.
But I don't think that Matt Vierling is ready for the major leagues yet. But he's ready. He's not performing. And with him being young, I think he still has some time that would be well spent down in the minors. And I don't think Odubel Herrera is a major league player right now. He didn't play for like 2 years. He struggled last year with, his average was okay. His anything more than a single was non-existent. And Mickey Moniak, I don't know. But I think the Phillies are going to realize that if maybe Moniak's a super utility player and maybe Herrera, but I think that's where they're going to get their most production from. And to be honest, we saw Bryson Stott. And all right, so question: who do you think had a better spring training, Stott or Moniak?
Probably Moniak. He was more.
Right, so
he was more impressive.
So then, if Stott is hitting 150 something, whatever it is right now, then is Mickey Moniak going to do much better than him?
I don't know.
Yeah, so I don't. That's really where I'm the most. That's where I see the most productive Phillies lineup right now. And I'm going to say maybe not the middle of May, maybe middle of June. But I hope that will be experimented at some point.
Yeah, if it's not, we'll have a problem.
All right, so I actually, since we just said him, I want to jump. I know we have to go to Gene, but let's go to Bryson Stott real quick. He started off the season hot. Not hot. He started off the season where I think we expected him to be maybe a little bit better. But he sat on most recent game Sunday against the Marlins, Easter Sunday, when they got brutally destroyed. And the day before that, he went 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts. Thoughts?
Hold on. I mean, going over 5 strikeouts, everyone's gonna have that. Obviously not great, but It's gonna happen. It happened to me the other day. um, but he's young. I mean, we can't overreact Bryson Stott unless he's doing good, and then we can start to freak out about him.
I agree with Alec Bohm.
Yeah,
Just pointing that out.
we'll get to Alec Bohm. Bryce, I've been fine with Bryson Stott. I feel like he should be in the lineup more. More than Johan Camargo, which I would like to touch on in a second. But yeah, I've been all right with Bryson Stott.
Stott's I don't know if he's ready for the major leagues. And I know I keep saying that, but he's 5 strikeouts is really, I mean, you don't see that very often. And it's going to happen. I'm sure it's going to happen to Harper at least once. He's going to be in Philadelphia for the next 9 years. So it doesn't concern me from a long-term standpoint, but even without those strikeouts, he's hitting a whopping 1 something that I don't want to have to look at because it's bad. And well, I guess I shouldn't say he's not ready for the major leagues. I don't know if he faced enough major league pitching in spring training that he still needs some time to adjust to the pitching he's going to be facing. And
I mean, that's the issue.
Hopefully the funky air out in Colorado might help him out a little bit. I don't know, but that would be nice if it did.
If they play him over Johan Camargo.
All right, so what's your issue with Camargo?
He sucks. I mean, I know he can hit a ball, but I would much rather have Bryson Stott at third base where he can get reps and get better than Johan Camargo. Or I'd rather have Alec Bohm out there who is hitting the ball much better than Johan Camargo.
That's true. And I think Alec – okay. So we'll get to Bohm. Okay, we'll get to Bohm in a second. But who's had a better start to 2022, Camargo or Stott?
I don't care. I'm going to be honest. Bryson Stott, as I was saying, Bryson Stott's the young kid who needs to get reps in.
And maybe could he get reps in the Iron Pigs with AAA?
If you want to be a major league player, he has to face major league pitching.
So I'm gonna give you two. I'm gonna give you a cliche here. I don't know if you're into cliches. I'm not actually into cliches, but Johan Camargo started off the season hitting well. He's hitting 269. Okay, maybe that's not good, but it was. He started the season off pretty hot. He's had some clutch hits in the Mets series, game 3 of the Mets series. The power's not there yet, but how about the term, if it ain't broke, don't fix it? Camargo hasn't really – he's definitely played above expectations so far. I mean, he has a higher batting average than Bryce Harper, than Kyle Schwarber, than Bryson Stott. Why are we just going to try and put a guy in there who's hitting 1 something just to develop him? I mean, if Phillies are truly interested in winning, maybe Stott's not the guy right now. And do I want him to be the guy? Yes, I want him to be the guy. Do I want him to have an awesome career and win a Rookie of the Year and an MVP and all those fun awards? Of course I do. You know, he's cool. He's a cool kid. He's athletic. He's going to be a star at some point. But is it really in the best interest of the Phillies to start Bryson Stott every day right now?
So I just looked it up. 6 out of the 7 lineups, Johan Camargo has been at third base. Ever since right after the Phillies had that incredible win against the Mets where they came back and won it, Johan Camargo has been in the lineup 6 out of the 7 times after that.
Wait a minute. After that game, we only had 6 games.
7.
Wait, you had 2 more games in that series, and then 4 games against the Marlins.
4 games against them. So I might have done that math wrong, but
I think that's a common theme on the pod. You
What?
doing
That we're
math
not good at
wrong.
math?
Yes,
We're like
I
John
think
Boy
we
Media. We're
established
like
that.
John. I don't know if you know John Boy
Yes.
Media, but they made a shirt that's just
Yeah, I
not a
do.
math. They made a shirt that's not a math pod. So I mean, we're basically like that.
We are. Yeah,
But
that's really good.
he's been in the lineup 90% of the time.
All right, you know what? I will buy that then. I think that if that's the path they want to go, developing stock, which I have no control over that. You have no control over that. We're not in the Phillies front office yet. But if that's what they're going to do, they need to get him consistent playing time. And is Camargo a really good guy to pinch hit?
Yes.
When they need a hit, put him in there
Uh-huh. But not
like a super
he's not
like
an
a super
everyday
utility
lineup.
guy.
He's not
All
an
right, that's
everyday
fine.
fitness
I'll
lineup.
go with that. Let's go to Gene Segura now. He spent a lot of time on other guys. What are you thinking about Gene? Concerned, not concerned, positives, negatives. He's been Gene Segura. I don't think there's much to touch on there. I mean, right now, yeah, I like Gene. He's hitting 286. I think he didn't do great after his little injury thingy he's got going on there.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he's still a little bit sore. There's probably still a bruise there. He's fine. He'll get over that. Have we touched on it? Oh, Matt Vierling and Simone Muzziotti.
Simone Muzziotti. He stinks.
He does.
I'm
but
sorry. Why would you call up Simone Muzziotti from what? Single A?
Double
A.
But it's the same thing. As well, the reason they called him up is it's the only center fielder they had on their 40-man roster.
Yeah, but I don't know. He's not good. He should not be in the lineup every day like how he has been. I'd rather have Matt Vierling who can't hit water who fell out. Whoa. I'd rather have Matt Vierling out there who can't hit water if he fell out of a boat right now than Simone Muzziotti.
Well, the bottom line is
I'm gonna part of my rant with Joe Girardi, which is coming up, involves those two guys. So
all right, let's go to I think he's hit the entire starting lineup. Didi.
Oh. He can't hit water if he fell out of a boat.
He doesn't make hard contact.
No.
I'd say right now we're benching him. All right, here's what I want to see by the middle of June.
All right,
I want to see Schwarber. You're going to give me this next. This is our game. We're just going to throw in there. I want Schwarber in left, Harper in center. I want Castellanos in right. I want Camargo at third. I want Stott at shortstop. I want Gene at second base. I want Bohm at first base. I want Hoskins at DH. I want off the bench. I want Vierling, and I want Didi.
I don't think Didi is a great bench guy because if he can't make hard contact, he's not going to be able to pinch hit in that spot where you need him.
Then it doesn't really serve a purpose.
Yeah, exactly. So we traded. No, I'm just kidding. I want JT catching. Put Hoskins at first, Segura at second, Gregorius at short, Bohm at third, or not Bohm, Stott at third. And then I want the outfit how you had it, Schwarber, Harper, Castellanos. And then...
And I do think, sorry to interrupt you, but I know we saw that Harper was not interested in DHing at all. Yeah. He wasn't happy.
Absolutely.
And I think he'd rather play.
We know that.
And I think and here's the bottom line. His boss is Joe Girardi. And the bottom line, whether he likes it or not, if Joe Girardi says, Bryce, go play center field, he might not like it. He might complain. He might go talk to John Middleton and Dave Dombrowski and Sam sells the bag up there. But, he has to play center field. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
And if he likes it more than DH, which I'm sure he would, then great. And if not, well, you're playing center field. The Phillies need to win. And I know he sees that. But,
he would rather win than play right field.
Yes, I agree with that. And I think that he can realize that lineup is much better than the lineup they're going with right now, which I think that should lead us into our Joe Girardi talk. These lineups, what are these lineups?
All right, I want to do my rant first because I was when I was on my way home from the Flyers game last night.
All right, I'm ready. Let's hear it.
All right. Joe Girardi. All right. We hired him with high expectations. Those expectations have quickly dropped because Joe Girardi is not a good manager. Matt Vierling, who has been struggling all season, finally gets a 2-hit game with an RBI double. What happens next game? What happens next game? Simone Muzzioti's in the lineup. Matt Vierling's on the bench. Bryson Stott, 2-hit game. Next game, on the bench. Johan Camargo, older player. Bryson Stott and Alec Bohm, younger players who will get better if you put them in a lineup. Who do you put in the lineup every day? Johan Camargo. It doesn't make sense what Joe Girardi's doing. When someone has a successful game, you want them to keep going, maybe get streaky and get hot and like go on this crazy run like Kyle Schwarber went on last year, where he had like those 15 home runs in 19 games. You can't bench a guy after he has a great game. That's just not how it works. And that's what Joe Girardi's doing. And it's not working. And some of these lineups, I'm going to read off the lineup from yesterday. For those that didn't hear it, here you go. I'm sorry, but you're going to have to do it.
I said this is the worst lineup he's put. And I'd say that I really liked the lineup from the day before. This one, I don't know how you can have a good line. Not good. It was a lineup that I liked. But this was by far the worst lineup of the season.
First of all, JT Realmuto leading off. JT Realmuto's not a leadoff hitter. I know he can get on base, but they should
not in any planet is he a leadoff hitter. There are so many better options in that organization. He is a catcher who hits for power, but he can't go up there and he's never done it in his life. I truly don't think he had any idea what he was doing as a leadoff hitter, if he knows what the leadoff hitter is supposed to do. And sure, does he know it? Yes, but does he know how to execute it? I don't think so.
No.
And I can't see JT Realmuto being a leadoff hitter in any sense. Couldn't stand that.
I don't like him at the DH. He got his first hit as a Phillies DH yesterday.
Who is this?
Leading off JT. And then Harper DH. Harper, as we said, is not a DH. Nick Castellanos in right, batting third. Hoskins at first. Schwarber, who dropped down to fifth, in left. Segura, Gregorius, Camargo, and Muzziotti.
It's horrendous. No. All right, are you done your Joe Girardi rant yet, or I interrupted?
I want to quickly wrap it up. Here's my in my conclusion of my do you have like the racist strategy? Recite the question, answer the question.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Restate, answer, cite, explain.
I'm gonna do my S. Summarize. Joe Girardi doesn't know how to make a lineup, and when dudes have a good game, you don't sit them, you play them the next game.
And he doesn't know how to manage a pitching rotation or bullpen. I think we're a little too broad here. He's a good manager, but not for this team.
No, he's not a Phillies manager.
No, and I'll tell you, it's hard to tell who would be a good Phillies manager because you have Gabe Kapler and Joe Girardi, two polar opposites, two good managers, two bad managers in Philadelphia.
Does Charlie Manuel want to come back?
Yeah, he's up for hire. If you're listening, Charlie, please talk to John Middleton. Please.
You were a hitting coach for half a year. You can be a
manager for like the rest of existence, please. Yeah, I don't think that. Like I said, I don't think Joe Girardi's a bad manager. I think he's a bad manager for the Phillies. I don't understand. Okay, here's my Joe Girardi rant: is what more does Alec Bohm need to do than hit in the lineup? He's to be in the lineup. He's hitting over 500. Okay, he made 3 errors. I don't want to see him in third base until he has instruction from the coaches, which I would like to say, if you didn't read the article on the series recap, I did put in there that he is receiving instruction from the Phillies coaching staff. and that's good that they're trying to get him to be a third baseman, but you need to find a spot for him to line up. I'm a big believer in riding the hot hand, and right now the hot hand is Alec Bohm, Nick Castellanos, Bryce Harper, and who else could I say? Matt Vierling. Those guys should start right now for the next 3, 4, 5 days. And I don't understand why we haven't had one of the same lineups. Maybe should we try the lineup that we won 9-5 or we put up 9 runs or we put up 10 runs or we put up 6 runs? Should we try one of those again? Maybe, just maybe. Yeah. Maybe that we should use the things that work in life. That's usually a strategy that would get us pretty far. But the bullpen management has been horrendous. I don't understand some of his decisions. And I'm a traditionalist. I think there should be a closer, an 8th inning guy, a 7th inning guy, and then a guy who we need to pitch late in the game when it's a close game. And he hasn't had that. And I don't think that any manager really has that right now, other than a set closer. But I can't see him sticking with the Phillies, which gets to our next thing we're going to talk about. When do the Phillies let him go? And if they do let him go, soon as in the next 2-3 years, when is it going to happen?
When his contract is up.
I agree.
I don't think they fire him. I think they just don't re-sign him.
So that's going to be when? The end of this year?
I believe so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they're going to let him stick it out.
If he doesn't quickly turn things around, this will be Joe Girardi's last year at the Philadelphia Phillies. And then
I agree.
What are we going to do from there? Don't know.
And I do hope, I want to go around their coaching staff real quick. Base coaches, they're just base coaches. Not to be mean or anything, but I'm pretty sure we could do their job. As long as you've got 2 arms and a half-working brain. And I'm sure that they do other stuff, I'm sure Dusty and Paco help with infield. I know Paco helps with base running. I have a Paco Figueroa autograph real quick.
Oh, here we go.
I don't know why. It's very cool. Paco Figueroa's autograph. Along with Matt Vierling, who I got when he wasn't bad in spring training. That was the game where he had 3 for 5 at the triple. But yeah, I don't think that Joe is going to depart anytime this year. And I think just to be fair, they made it pretty clear that Joe gets, and the fans, and I don't think the front office came out and say this, but I'm pretty sure it's clear. They're giving Joe one more chance. This is the season. Phillies make the playoffs. He met his expectations. If they don't meet the expectations, he's got to go. Not got to go. He doesn't get re-signed. Mm-hmm. And I think in all fairness, you have to give him till the end of the year, right? I mean, we saw the Nationals. We saw the Braves last year. I mean, 2 of the last 3 World Series champions started the season off horrendous. I mean, worse than this team is right now. I mean, the Nationals, before the All-Star break, were worse than the Phillies are right now. In 2019, excuse me. And I think that is just tells you that you need to give Joe that chance to get his teams. I mean, there's a lot of new players, right? They got a new leadoff hitter. They've got, Nick Castellanos is the second best player on the Phillies. Yes. Can we agree with that? Mm-hmm. That is a guy who's highly respected in the league. He's a top 25 player in baseball. When that guy comes on your team, you have a new closer, one of the better closers in baseball. You have Brad Hand, who, he's also very highly regarded, right? He dominated the league in the American League for 3 seasons when he was at the Cleveland Indians and now the Cleveland Guardians.
The Cleveland baseball team, they should have called it last year.
Yeah, apparently everyone's just the team now, so that works. You've got Jerry Familia again. He dominated the league at one point. There's a lot of things that have changed in the Phillies organization, and I truly believe there's going to take some time getting used to. Plus the short spring training. You can't ignore that. So I do think that that's a little bit of a factor in Joe Girardi's presence within the organization. But overall, should we be worried? I don't think so. This is just a rocky start to the season. Let's just be honest. They're 4-6. Is that correct?
Yeah. You know who else was 4-6?
The
The
2008
1980 and the
Phillies.
2008 Phillies.
Yep, both of them.
So we're winning the World Series.
Ooh, I don't know about that, but
That's just how it
here's
works.
my
Remember, like
maybe it
in
is
2018 and 2019, where they had like the same exact
same
record,
record
at the
for a
All-Star
really
break?
long time, and it was but it went on like when we were in like the 70, 80 game area. That was actually pretty cool. I do remember that.
Yeah,
But no, I
nothing's
mean,
done though.
and honestly, 4-6 isn't that bad. I
No,
mean, it
it's just how they've gotten the 4-6 is just worse
isn't
than
pretty.
how it was.
And here's the thing: maybe people are looking at this as the entire Phillies season. Four
Yeah,
and sixes of
here's my thing right now, people. 4 plus 6, 10. We're 10 games into the season.
right, and this
We
isn't
have
the last time that
152 games to go. There's not, anything could happen in 152 games. That is why I love baseball season, because anything can happen
right.
in
And here's the thing:
152 games. We can't overreact that Kyle Schwarber stinks right now. Yes, he stinks right now. I also stink at baseball right now. And I bet you Colin had times where he stunk at baseball.
last school season, I couldn't hit.
It happens.
This school season, I can hit. It happens.
Kyle Schwarber hasn't been good through what, 9 games? Because we'll say his opening day was good because he had that leadoff home run.
And he sat on 8 games, and he
8
was
games.
2 for yesterday, so 7 games.
7. He hasn't had a good 7
lot of
games.
games.
And he was good yesterday. So hopefully that stems into something with the Colorado series.
Yes,
where he
and
should
here
hit
and
the ball,
the exact
where he should hit the ball to Mars. So
right. And
let's
here's the
not
thing:
overreact. Hopefully this Colorado series improves things. And everyone just take a deep breath in. Yeah. It's game 10. We have a lot of baseball left to go.
people aren't seeing this. I mean, here's the thing: if this is the last time the Phillies have a run where they win 4 or less games out of 10, then we're definitely going to win the World Series, right?
Yeah.
Because that's ridiculous. If you can if in that every 10 game stretch, if you're going with 4 more wins, you're probably going to have a very good season. And people are seeing this as the entire Phillies season and not one 10 game stretch. So I mean, if this 10 game stretch happened in the middle of August, like literally no one would care. No one would care.
Yeah.
Like literally, rough go, guys. We're good. Let's just keep pounding through. We'll get there eventually.
Mhm.
Everyone's freaking out. We're all gonna have bad 10 game stretches. And the way I see it is in every game, whether you play well or don't play well, there's a winner and a loser. And out of luck, some games are just gonna be the winner. Sometimes the other team's gonna make an error. Sometimes it's gonna be a bad call by an umpire. That's how I think there are some really bad calls by umpires and some really bad errors. I mean, we saw a communication error. It's not going to happen in July. It's not going to happen, or not even as frequently in July, right? Everyone needs to relax. You need to stop overreacting because this is a 10 game stretch and nothing more than that. Mm-hmm. Now, if it continues into 20, 30 games, okay, yeah, we're going to need to take a pause and reevaluate what we're saying.
And we're going to have a problem.
Right. Plus, we played the Mets, the expected NL East champions. We pretty much rolled through the A's. And then the Marlins it's
the Marlins.
A bad series. It's a bad series. It happens. Mm-hmm. And I don't think people need to worry. I mean, we know that this team can hit, right? Has Gene Segura, or not Gene Segura, has Bryce Harper ever hit 214 in a season? No, he hasn't. Has Kyle Schwarber ever hit 120 something in a season?
Whatever.
He has not, right? Is Aaron Nola going to have a 6 ERA? No. Is Ranger going to have a 5 ERA? No, he will not. Is Zach going to have a 6 ERA? No, he's not going to. Is Corey Knebel going to get the flu again and Brad Hand has to come in with 15 minutes notice that he's the closer? Even though he did great, it's not going to happen again, right? And if it does, well, I'll eat my words. But it's not. People need to stop worrying.
We're okay. It's what Colin's trying to say. If you didn't understand what he said, we're fine. It's been 10 games. 10 games that will these 6 losses will add up to the end of the season. Yeah, that's how it works. But this team is good enough, I think. And in some of these games, I'm it's supposed to like when I see the Phillies down 3 runs, I'm like, this game's over. I'm not gonna win this game. But with this team, I always feel
Anything
like
can
that they can
happen.
come back. I never feel the game is over. The game yesterday when we were down 11, yeah, the game was over. But when we're down 5, I never feel that the game is over
Mm-mm. Because
because
I know that all it takes is a few swings with our we calling them the Broad Street Bombers,
yeah,
with our Broad Street Bombers, and it's tied. So quick preview before we get you guys out of here. We've got the Rockies coming up in Colorado. I think that should be a series we take 2 or 3 out of 3.
Mhm.
We don't rely on our pitching, right? I mean, the Phillies are a hitting heavy team, so I don't see a reason why we can't out hit the Rockies.
Did we touch on the bullpen?
We did not.
All right, let's
So
do
let
that
me
right
finish this preview real quick. We got
All
the
right.
Rockies 3 games in Colorado. We'll head back home to Citizens Bank Park. We have Milwaukee. Biggest thing there is Thursday, which is the April 21st. We have a game break, which is very good.
Thank God.
Time off. And then after that, I believe that'll wrap it up. And then we'll see you guys after the Brewers series. So
Yeah, we'll
that's as far
probably
as we
have
go
to find
there.
out on probably Monday because it's Sunday night game. I might be at that game, so
Very nice. All
it'll
right.
be my last.
Bullpen.
That'll be my last Fanatic birthday. That's ridiculous. I've been going to the Fanatic's birthday for 6 or 7 straight years, and
Why is it
will
going
be
to be your last one?
because it'll be like the last giveaway I can get. So I just
Okay.
call it my last one, which is kind of sad, but I can always try and sneak it through next year and say I'm 14. But
That would
a
work.
nice giveaway this year. It's a nice shirt. It probably won't fit me because I don't think they make adult larges for 14 and under. But
It's true. All right. What do you got in the bullpen?
bullpen, you know what? I've been fine with the bullpen. It's not as bad as it'll probably get this year. But what's like the worst the bullpen's been this year? The bullpen hasn't been bad.
No, it hasn't. And now I have this is a really dumb question, and I really haven't been paying attention that closely. Are we at 28 or 25, 26-man rosters?
Pretty sure 28.
So hopefully, actually, I'm fine with Christopher Sanchez. He's whatever. Nick Nelson's got to go. I'm not a Nick Nelson fan. He has no break on his pitches.
Tough name.
The Mets series is pure luck. He was horrible against the Marlins, so I don't even want to hear crap about that. Nick Nelson can take the next bus to Lehigh Valley, or that the next bus to another team. I don't really care. You can go back to New York. Knievel, I don't think he's even allowed to run yet. Hands pitched exceptionally well. He did allow, I think, a single yesterday that was a stranded runner, but didn't go on to it wasn't an earned run for him. Went in the line of someone else. Familia's pitched well. Seranthony's pitched well. They put Joe, again, I don't agree with this, has put Seranthony in the worst spots.
Yeah.
I mean, he came in for Nola that game in like the 5th inning, and they had him pitch more than an inning. Seranthony is your 7th or 8th inning guy. It's a close game. Or not even, he pitches late in the game. You know, if they're winning, maybe 6th or 7th inning. If they're losing, maybe 8th or 9th inning. But I don't get that. That's not the right spot for him. James Norwood, he's whatever. I don't really care about him. Not to be like harsh, but he's just James Norwood. So whatever. I'm sure he'll. I think he's actually decent. I looked at some of his numbers, so I guess that's a positive. He came over from, I believe, some team in the West. I think Padres. So that's a good, I guess. Coonrod's coming back from injury soon, so hopefully he adds a little bit of depth. I don't know how many innings we'll get. I don't know. I feel like we have a lot of like guys, like 7th, 8th inning guys right now. Like Familia, Hand, Seranthony. If Coonrod comes back, Alvarado, who's been pretty bad to start the season. Which I never have faith in Jose Alvarado, so it doesn't matter to me whether he performs well or he can. I don't know. Just because you throw hard does not mean that you're a good pitcher. People need to understand that. But yeah, I don't know what kind of role Coonrod will have. Maybe he'd be a good trade piece if you're looking to get another starter, another bat. In the trade deadline. What is that?
It's the bullpen.
Well, yeah. Is that just that are
Yeah, those are the boys.
yeah. See how they do. Brogdon, I was kind of surprised that he went down to AAA. I thought that Joe Girardi would want to keep him. I don't really know.
Did you see this on the broadcast the other night?
When was that?
This was one of the Mets games. And they put camera on the baby, and the baby was like freaking out. And I got a good screenshot of it.
Oh, I probably wasn't there. Well, because I only watched the Mets game on Tuesday. I watched on NBC Sports Philadelphia. The Mets game on Monday, I watched on Fox Sports, and then I was at the game on Wednesday, so I probably didn't see
It was probably. I'm pretty sure it was Monday because that was.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me check. I chose it. This was Tuesday.
No, then I missed the first 30 minutes of that game. So
8:25 p.m.
Yeah, I missed that. Or not. Wait, that game started at 6:40.
6:45.
That's weird. I must have just not been paying attention.
Maybe
I didn't see
the
that.
bathroom.
It's possible. Anyway, I think that's all we got for you guys today. So thank you for tuning in. We should have another episode out on Monday, and hopefully the Phillies can get themselves together, win a few games here, and hopefully climb back up atop the NL East, which will be a position where I think we're going to have a lot of NL East in the playoffs this year. So we will see how that shapes out.
Hold on, here's a tweet. If that post about the 1980 and 2008 teams yesterday made you mad, close your ears. The 2021 World Series champion Atlanta Braves started the season 4-8. I'm not saying the Phillies will win it all this year, or they will even be good. Just saying, it's impossible to know after 10 games.
That pretty much sums up everything we said in the last 20 minutes.
Thank you, John Foley.
Thank you, John Foley. Well, on that note, we will get you guys
The
out of
Phillies
here.
also have the
so much
same
for
run
listening.
differential as the Braves right now. So
that will be in our preview article today, which is coming out momentarily.
There you go.
But yeah, make sure you guys go and follow Philly Sports Reports on Twitter, follow Bell Ringers Pod on Twitter. That is all right down here. I think right here. Maybe it's over here. Doesn't matter. That's all down below. Our Bell Ringers Pod Twitter. We have our Philly Sports Reports Twitter, both of our own Twitters. Go follow all of our other writers on Twitter. YouTube. Make sure to subscribe. We are nearing 500 subscribers.
I have another fun stat for you.
Really?
The Phillies have the
Sure.
same run differential right now as the team that is heavily favored to run away with the AL East. The Baltimore Orioles.
Okay, that's all right. That's the Orioles
As we
are
say- So that
Fun
means
team.
the Baltimore Orioles and the Atlanta Braves have the same run differential.
That's true. That's that really shows that 10 games means little to nothing. So I think that's all we've got. So make sure you follow all those. Subscribe on YouTube. We're nearing 500 subscribers. And make sure you go to our website, check out all of our articles. The Sixers game. You got the Sixers coming up here at 7:30 p.m. Eastern tonight. So check that out. We've got a lot of good content on our website too. Articles and more. So I think that's all I got. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.